Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the LJLOU here in week 5, otherwise known as the first day of Super Week. Because, why wouldn't we do 2 weeks of games back to back? But joining us for the first time today is new play-by-play joining us in, KacZka over here to help us out. Mas1 will still be reprising his color role, which allows me to slip into the host role. We've got a game to set up for me here, gentlemen. Specifically, we have Burning Core versus Rascal Jesters. Burning Core hot off a win, and maybe looking a little bit better, but of course they've now got even stiffer competition because the Jesters, Mas1, have been on an absolute tear, haven't they?
The Jesters are just outright maybe the team that no one expected to do well. We had predicted them around the sixth to eighth place mark. We didn't have a lot of faith in the bot lane. We thought if they were going to have success, it was going to be through this bot lane with Kanatu coming into this top lane, the LJL rookie that I was like, I think they might be the third best rookie coming out of the scouting grounds into the LJL. Absolutely not. They look to be maybe the best scouting grounds player coming in, with Recap coming out of retirement. Apparently is better than ever. Apparently going into retirement is now hyperbolic time chamber kind of thing. Papa Hatcher Mecha now coming in, really showing the dad buff now. Apparently made him 10 times scarier than ever before. And this is a team that has come together and is maybe the scariest team because we don't know how good they are even.
All right, on the other side, KacZka, new to the league, new to the cast, but you kind of caught a little bit of that Burning Core game. And what are your impressions thus far of their squad? They've moved to 3-7, a little bit far off what we kind of expected of them pre-split. Do they have a chance here?
Well, I mean, that win for me, it was a win that was very sort of slow, very methodical, in my opinion, maybe even a bit too slow.
Sure.
However, I feel like they definitely have a chance. I mean, it is Super Week. They already had one win. They're playing another game today. They are playing tomorrow, if I am not mistaken. So if there's any time where you are going to turn around, then it is right now. And what I've seen, I feel like there are definitely some stars. I think Garyaru in the mid lane impressed me on that Orianna. I mean, you're playing ranged into melee in that game, so you kind of are expecting him to win that matchup. But I still feel like, as a newcomer to the league, it's something of promise for sure.
Good to know. That makes some sense to me. Keep your eyes on Galliardo, of course. He'll be going into recap, won't he, Mas1, who has honestly been pretty damn good this split. How are you expecting that one to go?
Galliardo versus Recap, I mean, historically, it's Recap favored. Like, last time these two players met, this wasn't even close. Galliardo was very much exploited, and it's rather surprising because in 2020, Galliardo was the one shining light outside of the bot lane corporal, really for Axis in a lot. He hasn't performed anywhere near to that level that I was expecting him to perform. And honestly, I expect Recap to repeat the previous game that they played.
Okay, well, that's good news. I suppose at this point, perhaps we should talk about Rayfarki once, of course, that kind of stuff. But actually, I kind of want to draw our eyes down to that bot lane. Sol and Secret have been a bit of a revelation in some ways in this league. Of course, they are LCK veterans both. Been playing for quite some time. They've been very aggressive, for better or for worse, at points. But they are now into Yuhi and Proud. Proud had a good last game. Hell, I would even go so far as to say a great last game. Some really strong allies to play. But this is kind of another level of competition again, KacZka. And Yuhi, I don't know whether you've been following the stats, but has very weak stats. And what do you... Can Burning Core hold on down there, I guess is my question.
I mean, if I'm going by all the information I have, then it is definitely going to be difficult. As you mentioned, Proud had a really good Alistar game right now, but even Alistar is a champion where if you don't have an AD carry that can hold their own in the bot lane, you're going to struggle to make plays. Like, you have to be enabled to go across the map and, actually have an impact. And if that's not going to be the case, then I can see Burning Core have quite a lot of problems in the bot lane. So it's definitely going to be a lane to watch in that AD carry to see, can they stand up.
See how it goes. So interesting stuff. I suppose for Mas1, I'll kind of flip this question and then ask to push a little further. Jesters 7 and very far up, 6-3, I believe, at the moment as it stands. And they've now got this opportunity to really push up the standings, challenge for where DFM is. What do you need to see from them in this game, and how are they going to do it?
Yeah, currently sitting at 5 and 3. This one would make the 6 and 3.
All right, I see.
If they were able to win this is kind of par for the course, really, for Rascal Jester. They're coming into this match, and we expect them to win. There shouldn't be any other questions really around this. Whereas on the other side for Detonation, for Burning Core, they have everything to gain. Winning here would put them in the same kind of spot that we know already that Crest Gaming Act are in. Like, that is a place where they get to suddenly leapfrog above, they get to be above Axis, and now suddenly Burning Core throughout this whole split are now no longer in the bottom of the standings. They're actually in a position to make playoffs, and this is why Super Week becomes super exciting, because what happens at the end of one day gets completely changed by the end of the next day.
And with that little bit of framing, I'm going to leave you guys to cast this game. I'd ask for predictions, but we kind of heard where the bias was going on that one, and for good reason.
Not biased. We're not biased.
Sorry, whatever you call it. Something along those lines.
Educated.
Thank you.
Exactly.
We'll go with that. And with that, I will actually leave you to the cast.
All right, well then, it looks like we are going straight into the picks and bans. Rascal Jester's going against a Burning Core, and we can already see Gragas being removed. Raifarki did have the game literally just now on the champion, and, alongside some other.
KacZka, I'm going to take you through how initially I started this and introduces the cast. So I will give you the reins for Rascal Jester. Please, can you go from top to bottom and say each of the players' names?
All right, for Rascal Jester, we got Kinadu, Hachimecha, Recap, Soul, and Secret.
And for Burning Core, we have Raifarki, Wants, Gadiadu, Yuhi, and Proud. And talking about those bans, absolutely, Gragas already getting banned away, Rel and Graves over there. And then off this for the side of Burning Core, we see the Senna, Seraphine, and Na all getting taken away. And these are important picks because these are picks that Rascal Jester have kind of dominated on, and they've been able to play a very flexible, different kind of play style. Rascal Jester have shown that they are maybe the most adaptable team when it comes to the pick and ban phase, and they lock in the meta pick himself, Udyr, in the top, in the jungle, not in the top lane. That'd be very unique.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be, but yeah, Udyr makes sense. It's still one of those, staple jungle meta picks. You can just pick it up almost anywhere. That being said, Burning Core responding with an Azir, and maybe it might be like my lack of education of, the mid laners here, but that seems very peculiar to me.
So Gadiadu,
I think you might have gotten ganked by the internet here, so I guess I'm just going to move over and narrate the further picks. KacZka is going to be locked in for the side of Burning Core, which sort of makes sense. You do want to pick your AD carry.
Has been banned out by ages. He has been using Azir a little bit as a crutch.
Okay, do we have you back? Okay, maybe not then. Well, KacZka, as I already said, you want to probably look in that AD carry quite early on. That being said,
KacZka.
Hello.
KacZka. Hello, I'm back.
Yes.
I have returned. I did get ganked from. My internet well and truly did gank me. I got baited, outsmarted, and flashed on. But hey, I'm back here, and Gadiadu does like to play his Azir because he is a control mage specialist. It'd be very confusing why he's not playing this Twisted Fate, which is open and has 100% ban rate over in the LEC. But this isn't the LEC, this is the LJL. Renekton, Orianna be picked up, obviously, for the control mage mirror match, so it's going to be a little bit of a snooze fest in the mid lane. No one's going to get an edge over one another, and we're going to be seeing the typical matchup of Udyr versus Olaf. The unstoppable man versus the bear man. Interesting indeed.
For sure, and in the first phase of the picks, you already see some disparity in where the focus lies, with Burning Core picking up that KacZka for the AD carry, so I would expect them to, ban out maybe some of the ADC picks that they don't want Soul to get his hands on, and then on the other side, Rascal Jesters really putting in the focus on the Renekton, so for them, I would expect really to double down on this top lane focus in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely, and as you can already see, you suggested the bans coming out. KacZka has already been picked for Yuhi, which is actually Soul's most played champion. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see the Ezreal, which is his second most played champion alongside that Senna, which has already been banned. So if Burning Core are going to do this, it's probably where they're going to have to go. They decide actually to ban a champion Soul hasn't played currently in the LJL, being the Tristana. it's not going to be a ban on recap, where obviously Tristana can be flexed to in this mid lane. So, surprise, surprise, maybe Soul, Secret, and the Rascal Jesters have more to hide from their scrims. That is cool information to know. It's always fun to see that kind of stuff come out.
Yeah, and Alistar actually paying respect to Proud from that last game, wanting to get rid of that very strong engage option. And to be honest, Burning Core do need some engage, so if they want to pick it up in the support, you still have picks like Nautilus. Not entirely sure how much it is played here, but could work.
It's not super high up there. A player of Alchemy normally likes to play the Nautilus more than others, but hey, we haven't been seeing that even that much. Often we see a Thresh be picked up by Proud. Thresh is Proud. Proud's Thresh or Thresh is Proud? No, both of them. Either way around, it's fine. It means the exact same. It doesn't matter. Is either the best player on the Rift, or sometimes doesn't get much of anything, but normally that's down to his team not really following up. Be interesting to say. Call me a liar. I've been saying we don't see much Nautilus. Secret's locked in Nautilus. I just whatever.
Hey, I appear and suddenly Nautilus is locked in. Who knows? Maybe that. I'm just saying there's a correlation here, not necessarily a causation. Now I'm really curious to see what is going to be the AD carry. All right, so Ezreal's going for a bit of the safer option, at least for the AD carry. Suggests to me that Rascal Jesters would want to most likely snowball around that Renekton.
Yeah, it's great. When you see someone trying to hook you, what do? You just jump away. You just jump away.
Yeah.
You just have to E away. When in doubt, E away. Ornn being locked in is a new one for the side. Rayfarki, we've been seeing typically get put on the hard carry position, as he is typically seen by us analysts over here at the LJLOU as one of the best top laners. You want to put him on a champion which can really kind of snowball the protective and really accelerate the game further and further. Sadly, though, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case in this game because he's been put on Ornn duty.
He has indeed, and what this means to me is that I'm looking to see how Rascal Justice can really punish that top lane matchup. You've got Renekton, you've got Udyr, you're playing against an Ornn. I mean, surely you've got to, be looking to somehow find leads through them, right?
Yeah, and I mean, that's just kind of try and allow Burning Core to stay in this game for a bit longer, because one of their pros that they have in this game is, hello everybody, is obviously going to be the fact that they just have scaling built in. They've got a KacZka, they've got an Ornn, they've got the Olaf, so when Olaf starts to fall off with the Ragnarok and everything, they can just be like, hey, here's some better items, try this out. They've also got Azir, so Burning Core want this game to go really long, I think. Rascal Jester don't really want this game going longer than 30-35 minutes, or it's going to start becoming Burning Core favored.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got, some range on the Orianna and Ezreal, but picks like Udyr, I mean, I could see maybe... Wait, hold on. Did I just mix up the teams? I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to see what this game will bring us. Hopefully, some action and... Who knows, Burning Core. Maybe they can pick up the 2-0 today. I feel like that's something that I can definitely get hyped behind, no matter how unlikely it is.
Absolutely, but obviously this is the first game for Rascal Jesters on the day of our coverage, and they've got a big game after them in facing against Rascal Jester. Well, Rascal Jester facing off against Detonation Focus Me, so a win here for the Rascal Jesters. Obviously, we'll be like, okay, that's good. We expected to win this one. Now's our real challenge against Detonation Focus Me, who have already got a win over Axis today. So it's going to be the battle of the people that can go 2-0. Rascal Jester going 0-2 here would be a very disappointing week, but it's not out of the question here. It's going to be all around how this first game against Burning Core goes, and who are you feeling a bit more favored towards now that you've seen the pick and ban phase happen? Take the nameplates off. Take anything you learned about the players and just imagine this was solo queue.
I think I like Rascal Jester still, and here is why. I mean, Ezreal super safe into the Thresh guys. I mean, realistically, he shouldn't really be dying. Mid lane, you've got an inert lane with Azir and Orianna. You're not really looking for much there. And the top lane is where I'm really looking at. You've got the Renekton, you've got the Udyr into an Ornn. Whereas Ornn, in theory, should also be safe. You can coordinate those dives. And that is, I feel like, purely champions-wise, where my favorites sort of lying.
So, we look at this one. We come into this match and we go, okay, Burning Core, your composition wants you to go long game. Rascal Jester wants to go short. Now these two teams, if you look at just raw averages, Rascal Jester have some of the faster games, and they're winning most of their games as well. So this draft, when you look at it on paper and you start adding a bit of context around the side, you're like, Rascal Jester, you've drafted exactly what you want to do. You want to end this game by 30 minutes. Burning Core, you also have a 30-minute average game time. You don't typically want to play longer. You're not the team that goes the longest amount. That's Crest Gaming Act, and it's a bit disparity coming out from Burning Core here.
Definitely is, but we'll have to see how they make it work, as we're going on to the Rift for game number 7 of the LJLOU today.
Yeah. Game number 7, game number 3 in the official order, and we're just going to fan out, which makes total sense. Neither of these teams have a huge level 1 over one another. Oh, no, Proud's getting saucy.
Yeah, walking in. Not sure, I don't think he placed any wards, but was looking for one if possible. Also, just taking a quick look at the runes, I don't think there's anything really out of the ordinary. Everything seems completely fine here. I mean, phase rush on Udyr, extra movement speed, you gotta see, the bear man just running at you.
Yeah, everything looks very standard here. Obviously, Conqueror on both Ezreal and Renekton is everything you expect to see. And obviously, Comet for that good poke early on the Azir for Gadiadu. It's been a while since I've seen Ornn, but last time I remember seeing Ornn in a competitive matchup, it was with a grasp. So you just have the sustain going. Proud went for the level 1. He went for the Flay. He didn't go for the hook, which is a little surprising, but I guess they were expecting, hey, if Rascal Jesters try and index onto us, we can just throw them back in their face and deny them. Blitzcrank is only a little bit favoring Burning Core in this one, but not by much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just, the champions and, I don't know, their historical performance. Most likely at this point, as that is a really nice level 1 hook coming out from Secret will chunk down Yuhi already. You're gonna watch out for the level 2, because if Rascal Jester hit it first, which they won't, so never mind that point, Yuhi will be.
And already it's going in Rascal Jester's favor, because Blitzcrank realized that the game has started and that these teams do have placements, and that one of these teams is 5-3. And if we use results-based orientated thinking, that's all how robots use. They don't care about the human factor. Of course, Rascal Jesters immediately pull into the lead, and it's going to be unstoppable from here. Of course not. I'm not that serious, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have several parts of this map coming out. Both junglers are completing their first rotation. It looks like they're going to be fighting around this bot side as they both finish up Gromp and Golems, respectively.
Yeah, this actually could be really interesting, given how the Burning Core bot lane is already pushing it, and Yuhi is out of mana. If Burning Core do find themselves in a 3 versus 3, it might not necessarily go in their favor. That being said, the Scuttle Crab will be spawning, and once gets his position on it first, skipping the Gromp, so not actually doing the full clear, and opting into the Scuttle Crab instead.
Yeah, he didn't actually do that, whereas obviously Hachimecha has done that full clear as none of those jungle camps are up, and he's already going for the Risk Scuttle in the top side. More than happy to accept the trade, and I don't think he's actually been caught out on that vision there by Burning Core. He hasn't been pinged, so this is going to be unaware for the side of Burning Core until he ran over vision just there. Doesn't matter.
Yep, just places a ward, takes the recall, standard full clear procedure. Actually, both junglers will end up doing that. That being said, there is a ward you can see on the cracks from Rascal Jester, so if once decides to go back there, he will be spotted, and I'm going to be looking forward to see how they respond to that information once they get it.
Absolutely, and obviously we saw there just Gadiadu is recalling, buying, getting his mana back, buying a few items, and now has teleported back in. Recap, I imagine, is about to do the exact same, just in the opposite way. These mid laners just exchanging their teleports in so they can get minor item spikes, which it makes total sense. You don't want to do anything else. Bot lane are currently doing that, and so far, not a lot of pressure's been happening. We're almost 5 minutes in, and it's just kind of a lot of pleasantries have been exchanged by a lot of these players. We might bonk one another, but they're not going to do much more than anything else. And this is a big game for KacZka in this top lane because he's against arguably one of the better top laners of Rayfarki. And Rayfarki, as I said, was the 1v1 king. He was always up for fighting anybody and would typically win. And KacZka's falling incredibly low here.
Yeah, talking about the 1v1 king, Rayfarki takes a really good trade in his favor. Of course, having the Bramble Vest already. Thank you, Orin. That passive is really great. As KacZka running into the mid lane will get a little stun onto Garyaru, but not a lot more happening here.
It looks like he's just going to clear the ward, kill the vision, and once is down on this side as well. So it's going to be all about who has priority and who can just get the vision over it. At the moment, Rascal Jesters have so much more vision than Burning Core do, and they kind of just have to play around this. Sadly, you are standing on a ward, KacZka.
Yeah, Yuhi is gonna get hooked. He takes so much damage. There's a stun flash away. It's not going to be enough. First, but picked up by Secret with the ignite. Now, once and Proud, they're taking so much damage. Once has to burn the flash as well. There's the hook onto the left lane under the turret, and Soul picks up the kill. Proud cannot find a damn thing. 2-0 for Rascal Jesters.
And this whole time, Rayfarki did have a teleportation in, but the call was made that they didn't want them to come in. Garyaru had already used their teleport into earlier when I mentioned that. All around kind of resetting and playing around the mid lane. And now Recap, now KacZka, and now the members of Rascal Jester are looking at their bot lane, looking at their jungler and going, good, it has begun. Our reign will begin. 1k up in this game. Infernal Drake is alive, but he once hasn't been able to index down to it. So it looks like the side of Burning Core are going to reset and get prepared for this Rift Herald.
Right, Garyaru, really nice Emperor's Divide. He's running out of mana. Recap also low on both health and mana. Secret is covering, and so ones can't quite run at him. It was a good attempt here from Burning Core, but doesn't quite result in a kill.
No, it was worthwhile. I thought for a moment they might get it. Maybe if they were able to get it a little bit more turned around so that Garyaru, it was fully into the face or rather his own wave. Maybe there was a chance, but thankfully Recap was able, for his sake, he was able to run away, get out of that. KacZka is going to see his blue buff getting eaten, and he's going to wonder if he wants to fight this or not.
He's gonna have to count his allies and realize that it's a bit fewer than what Burning Core are bringing up. So nice steal there. Garyaru is able to pick up this blue buff, and you can see from the positioning of Yuhi and Proud they are covering any potential counter invade. So we are going to see blue buff gap develop in the next few minutes, likely.
Yeah, and that's only gonna go slightly wider as this game goes on. We haven't seen anybody finish their first main items. Obviously, beginning items are coming out, but we haven't even seen this bot lane tick over to 6. And as I say that, ping over.
Yeah, alright, I think your internet sort of cut you out here towards the end of your point. That being said, you should barrage in the bot lane from Soul. Well, chunk down Yuhi a bit. KacZka already on this dragon. You can see once is up in the top lane, so not in any position at all to try and contest this first dragon. And Recap moving down from the mid lane, as well as Burning Core not really interested in the bot temperature at all. That being said, Rayfarki is going to call the Forge God. Good flash away from KacZka. However, that is the summoner gone. Now we can see maybe this top lane being opened up to counter ganks.
This is why I love watching KacZka. This is a guy who is 17 years old. He's the youngest player in the LJL, and he is already looking to do some flashy plays. He is already going against some of the best the LJL has to offer, and he won't die. He will trade effectively. He will farm as effective as possible, and he will play around the map as best he can. And so far, he's showing up really, really well. That flash was heads up as anything else and prevented anything else from happening for him.
Yuhi doesn't have a flash. That lantern, I think it might have just doomed both of the bot laners to a dead depth charge. Finds the knock-up. There's the shockwave in KacZka. Picks up the first kill of the dive. Proud able to get one on the back. That was not supposed to happen for Rascal Jesters, but they still find a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Secret hung around far too long there. They are going to be able to get this bot turret, I imagine, for the side of the Jesters, but they are going to be trading a few plates in this mid lane, and I've already gone again. Maybe? No, I'm still here.
Yeah, you were gone for like a second. You know, I usually give you a second. Let's see if you come back.
I can normally tell because the game that we're watching it on normally freezes for me, and it started for a split second and then it came back. So I was like, oh, okay, my internet's still fine for the moment.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the items now, Master, and I can already see there is an Essence Reaver completed for Soul. We're just 10 minutes in.
Yeah, this is a very early Essence Reaver, and this is almost giving me flashbacks. However, this was for Burning Core when they no, this was for Detonation Focus Me earlier on the day when Utapon was able to get what felt like 10 minutes Essence Reaver. I wondered if we're going to be seeing the 15-minute Dustblade coming out as well. If that's the case, you know who I might be picking for this win.
Yeah, I think already Rascal Jesters have a massive advantage here. Yuhi in this bot lane can't really stand on his own. You can see he's zoned away from his tier 1, and that turret itself is not looking very healthy. If only KacZka comes down in the bot lane, this could be a dive, and right, Yuhi is gonna be playing it safe.
Look at this, he's getting zoned off. Soul and Secret are just like, yeah, it doesn't matter, we can just push him off the wave. He'll miss one or two waves of experience, and look at this, he's just letting it completely die out, get the last hit, get the extra little bit of gold onto his head, and now that's first turret. Burning Core are just falling slowly further and further behind, and we're only 11 minutes in, and Rascal just haven't done anything huge. Yes, they've got a few kills to their name. Yes, they've got a dragon and a first turret to their name, and now they have about a 3.5k lead to their name as well, with Dragon not being far off the horizon. 2 minutes left to go for that one.
It is 2 minutes until the dragon, and really a question is being presented to myself. How do Burning Core really approach this game from now on? Because they don't really look like they have a lane that they can play through right now. I mean, bot lane, you're into an Ezreal, you're not really gonna catch him. Mid lane is really your only option, and I mean that's what they're trying to do, but is it enough?
Yeah, they're forcing to try and take this bot. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Ragnarok being forced. Hold on, Druid Barrage is gonna go just a bit wide. Flash hook not gonna hit, and the return hook from Proud also goes wide. A lot of skill shots being missed in the middle, but you can see Rascal Jesters, they have a lot of power because they can burst once so quick.
Matcha though.
Yeah, he's running in the top lane. Rayfarky has got the flash. I don't think he will be getting out of this one though. That's Hatchamecha with a kill. 100% kill participation for the jungle of Rascal Jester.
Imagine just showing why he was such a good player, and that the problem with his previous team wasn't him. He's gonna blame it on everybody else. I doubt he's doing that. He seems like a lovely gentleman, and his content is always hot fire to watch because he does jungle pathing stuff. So he actually just goes, "Hey everyone, this is the best jungle path for this champion I've been able to work out," and like the speed run attempts on his channel. It's great content to watch occasionally. But relevant.
I think you are getting owned by your internet again, so I will just take over. Okay, welcome back.
Nope.
I think you're back now. I think you were gone for a while, then just, everything came through at once.
I think, yeah, now I'm back because the video's not jumping around so much, and I just saw once grab a lantern from Proud, but as it said, Rascal Jesters are really slowly tightening this nail that they're putting to Burning Core, because now that the Ocean Drake is alive, you can already see that Rascal Jester are playing around it, and they're like, hey, Burning Core, come into us. We're happy. We already have the vision. We're ready for you.
Yeah, and you can see Once just throws an axe, walks away. He doesn't want anything to do with the fight. Okay, the dragon is going to be disengaged. Burning Core, they are committing a 5-man. Kinadu has got the teleport, is now going to use it to the mid lane turret. I feel like we are in for a fight. Burning Core all grouping right up. The dragon's getting low. It is going to be secured by Once, but now the fight is in full swing. Rayfarky is going to dash away. The first kill of the fight is going to be found onto Secret. Call of the Forge God. It's not going to do a whole lot, but the lantern gets Rayfarky out, and it feels like Burning Core just get away with murder here.
They absolutely did. I wasn't able to see most of that fight because my internet died, but I heard your play-by-play commentary, which really did help kind of allow me to understand what's going on. And Burning Core, they got away with it, but it looks like there's going to be a re-engage.
Teleport from Ray. Farky doesn't have the ultimate, misses the knockout. However, there's a dash in from Yuhi, picks up the kill. Onto Recap HaChaMecha from this side together with Kinadu Kind. They find an answer. Ray Farky, another lantern gets him out. Double kill picked up by Yuhi. And Ray Farky is Proud's biggest fan today.
What is going on today? This was not how I expected this game to go. Burning Core finding multiple picks on, and they're allowing themselves to stay in this game. They're finding the options there, and Rascal Jester just not having the respect for Burning Core. They are finding and getting picked apart when Burning Core are the ones that are asking for a lot of this. This all started because of the teleport that came out from Ray Farky here. On this Orn, he doesn't have this, and he also misses the knockup, which is pretty poor. Yuhi is obviously, though, able to jump in with the Killer Instinct and then allows them to kill Recap really quickly here. Now, it looks really bad here. Ray Farky does that, but Proud, as you said, his #1 fan right now is Ray Farky being able to keep alive, and then using the Shremo Shuffle to get another kill over there. Burning Core. All right.
Yeah, Secret just whiffs the hook, didn't happen. A team fight is also going to be immediately disengaged. Kinadu losing quite a bit of health for this one. The Herald is going to be the target. I can't quite see who got it. It seems to be the side of Rascal Jester. The shockwave onto 2, and Yuhi is dead already. Ragnarok in the backline from Wansky can't find a single person to kill. And now Gariaru flashes away, takes the lantern out again. But Burning Core are on full disengage. They lose 2 members. They lose the Herald as well. And Rascal Jester, they pick themselves back up, and now they're going to look to pick up some towers as well.
Yeah, Proud is saving Burning Core, I think, about 3 or 4 kills at this point now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Proud's lantern and just zoning and knowing where to stand so that lantern is actually useful for his team, this game could be even worse for Burning Core right now. As it said, it's not good. It's really not good, KacZka. Like, coming into this replay, this is going to be pretty brutal to see a lot of members of the side of Rascal Jester for, Burning Core full. Both of the supports miss their hooks. They go completely wide and nobody's grabbed on. But however, HaChaMecha is able to secure this Rift Herald, even if he missed it. And look at that dredge line. So important. It's on to the most important member of Yuhi, who's so much of their damage output. Because of that, HaChaMecha is able to just keep running forward. No fear from the side of anyone that's going to punish them. Once also went down on the back side of that fight, and Burning Core just had to run away with the tails between their legs with the hope that anything was able to come. Tower plating has well and truly gone down more than most games. Full 5 down in this bot side and a full 4 in the top side.
Yeah, 10 compared to 7 for Burning Core, so Rascal Jester getting a bit of a lead, but overall they are just, well, as we have previously mentioned, sort of tightening their stranglehold on this game. I mean, Secret with that really good hook, the second one. The first one, we can just pretend didn't really happen into the shockwave, and you really gotta start thinking, how do Burning Core approach those fights? Because surely they can't just keep getting lucky with the picks.
Yeah, I think their luck is already slowly falling away from them, because you just have to look at how far ahead Rascal Jesters are. They made a pretty bad few mistakes, and they're already back to their 5k lead. Like, it was like, oh no, we're losing. Oh no, we lost some team fights, and now we're winning again. And now it's back to where it was. There are no problems. There are no qualms. We're going to be able to win this game. Rascal Jester turning it up, and Cloud Drake is up in 40 seconds, and you can tell they're well and truly getting prepared. They're already clearing the vision out pretty deeply in Burning Core's side of the map.
Now teleport on Ray Farky. Burning Core aren't really even looking to contest this objective. No point really when you are 5,000 in gold behind. And I mean, yeah, the Blitz boy, I think, has got the hard numbers.
He's got the hard data, and he's of the opinion that Burning Core should be able to take this game. And Rascal Jester already behind Gadiadu here.
Yeah, Gariaru does not have the flash. He should just die here. HaChaMecha picks up that kill 1 on 4. It's never fair, but not many things are in League of Legends.
Death, taxes, and Mark 5 Udyrs are the only things that are always true in League of Legends. It looks like Burning Core are going to trade this topside tower for this dragon. And the reason that they're doing this is they are fully aware that they can't fight any of the members of Rascal Jester. They just watch Gadiadu get, well, dove under his his turret, and none of the members of Burning Core were able to do anything to even try and assist their mid laner, who was caught out pretty deep in their bot lane. So you wouldn't expect them to be caught out there. So, but Rascal Jester are just able to keep strangling and going, yeah, we can just take this, we can take this, and what can you do, Burning Core? What are you able to do? And currently their answer has been not a lot.
Yeah, some attempted cross map is really the only thing, but when you look at the vision, there is basically no vision to be speaking of. Some defensive wards in the bot side jungle are always nice, but the next objective is gonna be this Baron, and I'm not sure if Rascal Jester can burn in that 20 minutes, but you always have to respect it when you're this far behind.
Absolutely. I mean, the one saving grace that Burning Core can look at is Yuki at the moment. This man is having a half-decent game, and he has got some farm. He's got an item and a half complete. He's not far off of being a 2-item, and upon completion, I believe he's going to probably be going for Collector as the first item completed here for the KacZka. It will give him that little bit more power and the ability to try and fight. The problem is I don't think he's going to have this item for this next fight, and this is what they really need if they want to have any hope in able to stay in this game.
100%. You can already feel those team fights. The power gap is starting to get to the point where it doesn't matter if you manage to outplay your opponent. I mean, Garyaru, I think it's a 5-man Shurima shuffle or nothing. Or at least we're getting to that point slowly but surely. You can see Rascal Jester already setting up vision control in the top lane. Standard game plan, get priority, get division with a priority, use division to get priority again.
Absolutely. Rayfaki hasn't quite pinged over either. Obviously, they need this Ornn to try and get a few items deep, so then you can actually, well, rather a few levels deep, so you can actually then start giving the ornaments over. And how familiar are you, KacZka, at the moment with the Ornn items, with the new item rework?
I don't think I
like
know
everybody
any
in the world?
names. I think at some point I should learn them. But it's sort of like Lego. So long as people don't use them or don't expect you to know it, it's fine. You can just forget it exists.
I'm pretty sure that's how most play-by-play well, just most casters get by. They're like, as long as I don't need it, it's fine. But the moment you get caught out, you're like, oh, whoa, that's a surprising amount of damage coming out from the Ezreal ult.
I mean, he is on 2.5 items. Soul 222 CS, almost over 10 a minute at this current point. So yeah, he's had one hell of a game, really.
Yeah, didn't go for the Dustblade of that second items. Decided to go for the Manamune instead, or the Manamune, before going for the Dustblade, which I mean is just kind of slapping the opponents over the head with your wallet to a degree, because at this point Yuki has only just gotten the Collector. He's just been able to get that, and now this Baron is up, but it's been 2 minutes. It's been 3 minutes, meaning this dragon is on a 2-minute timer, and now Rascal Jester are probably going to be like, well, we don't have to, and if we win the teamfight pretty decisively, we can get both of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the thing. Rascal Jester at this point, the only thing they need is probably find a pick. You can see Secret already looking for it, and that is their win condition, because they are so far ahead. All they need is just this one push, and it all collapses for Burning Core.
The item that has been built by Rayfaki and then upgraded is the Rimforged Grasp. I wonder how many times that's been said on broadcast before.
Probably once, and I feel like if it's any caster, it probably would be Medic that said it. I don't know why. Just feels like the kind of person to point it out.
I feel like that's also the kind of person that would also know all of the ornaments off of the top of their head already, because they're just like grind it all out. Him or Captain Flowers?
Yes. Well, from play-by-play, would any color casters know it? I mean, the real question is, do you need to know the name as a color caster?
I guess Freak would probably know. I forgot Freak is always like the hybrid of color caster, play-by-play caster.
All right, well, Secret going in. That is not the hook that you wanted to hit. He picks up a kill. That is, I think we can write it off. I say, mistake, Rascal Jester. Just hopefully regroup and come back to your game plan in 30 seconds. Yeah, not great.
It's fine. Support will be up in time. We don't have to worry about it. The support will be up. He'll be back in time. It's okay. Secret just landing a Q. He landed a dredge line he really didn't actually want to land, and because of that, it caused some other issues for the the support player of the Rascal Jesters, but I don't think it's going to cost them anything, as he will be up in time for this dragon. And Burning Core don't want to give too much disrespect to the side of Rascal Jesters, as they could, out of absolutely nowhere, remove them with 2 to 3 members.
All right, the dragon is going to be started. Soul dashing forward. Yeah, you can see KacZka onto the side. Kinadu is having the flying position. The dragon is already secured. Let's see, Burning Core, where are you going to run? What is the path of disengage? So far, they're just all coming up in the mid lane. You can see Rascal Jester sitting for multiple angles. KacZka is going to flash into the backside. Kinadu jumping in as well. Emperor's Divide is going to keep the Renekton out as the Jujut Barrage goes to the team. The Shockwave onto both of the carries, but none of them is going to die. Yuhi finally is going to fall once in the backside against KacZka. There is the Renekton coming through. Kinadu is going to clean up the fight. Proud trying to keep him away with the flay, but it's not going to be enough. Rascal Jester, 3 kills already. Soul finds the Mystic Shot. That's the 4th kill as well, and Rascal Jester win the team fight decisively.
Ding, ding, ding. We lost the dragon, guys, but guess what we can get there? We'll get the Baron. That's not too bad of a consolation prize. 4 for 0 over to the side of the Jesters, and they can do no wrong in this game, it seems. Every moment they were able to get away with their KacZka, when it looked like you were below 50 HP at one point, maybe -1, it feels like how low. But the important members to watch in this team fight is, oh, Secret, that's an awkward flash to miss, is watch Kinatu here. Comes right in, and because of that, he forces the Shurima shuffle out of Galio. Now that amazing shockwave come through, and now look at KacZka. He's right behind. He went the long way round to get onto Yuhi, to get onto this backline. Once it's like, hey, I can probably kill this guy. No, Kinatu was right there on top of him, saved it by the alligator. And what was so well played is Rascal Jester were able to juggle the different kind of aggro that they wanted to pressure. They were able to go, Kinatu, we want you to go in the back, we want you to be our front man, run in and pressure them so they have to blow everything. Because of that, KacZka was able to come around the back, and guess what? This whole time, Soul was able to just farm them. He didn't have to get too deep. He was able to throw out Qs, as with recap, and wow, Rascal Jester is so good. Look at that damage that Soul was able to do, just not being touched that whole fight.
Yeah, and I believe that was also before he completed his mythic, because I caught a glimpse of it, Duskblade now being completed. Rascal Jester played this team fight immaculately. As I said, they had Burning Core exactly where they needed them. And now when they are even further ahead, it really is starting to look like a done game.
Yeah, sadly, Proud has been able to get a bunch of lanterns, but hasn't been able to hook any of the really important members. Galio hasn't been able to do much with his streamer shuffles. Once fell very far behind in this early game and hasn't been able to catch back up with KacZka. And Rayfaki, well, you're scaling and you're starting to give ornaments over, but it's a little bit late if the rest of your team and the base is getting knocked on at 27 minutes in.
For sure. Rayfaki getting some nice damage onto Kinatu, and yeah, the ornaments, they're always nice, but they either have to matter early or they're only going to make a difference at, what, 40 minutes? And this doesn't look like a 40-minute game. That being said, Call of the Forge Gold finds that lock up onto 2. And the Rascal Jester are in a bit of a 2-safe position for Burning Core to follow through.
Damage that Soul outputs at the moment is almost half of Rayfaki's health bar.
Goodness, look at Garyaru! I can't even see him now as Soul deletes him off the map. And man, that is one hell of an Ezreal performance.
This is what happens when you allow Ezreal through the pick and ban phase and he gets 3 items. I think I know the meta which the LJL might be following for the next few weeks, and then definitely for the rest of Super Week if this Ezreal performances keep up. My god, that is phenomenal.
2 inhibitors off the top of that one play. Garyaru is still not even up, and Rascal Jester are just going to take the recall. You've got the Baron running out, and they have now put themselves in a position where they only need one more play to finish this game for good.
You could even argue at this point they don't even need one more play. They might be able to just brute force their way through this game. They're over 11k at this ahead now at this point. And watch what Soul does here. The Q, miss. He's able to land 1. That's the Essence Flood. That's a Q. Jump over. Oh
that's
my.
That's a QE auto attack.
I think I'm allowed to say what KacZka says now. That's illegal. That's actually illegal for just, you're not meant to do that much damage when you're only 1 level above the enemy mid laner. That was absurd.
It was indeed. Once it's gonna take the lantern out to safety, Ray Fark in the
Oh,
ball
Ray
taking
Farky.
a bit too much damage. He's going to get stunned. There's a shockwave, and Rika picks up the kill. Proud is going to be next on the chopping block, with Soul getting that one. And now the Ezreal should be absolutely unleashed. The Chushot Brush is going to go wide. Having that is the double kill. Picked up by Soul as once is sent back to the fountain. Soul jumps forward, picks up the triple, and they should be the game. Rascal Jester controlled from start to finish. One small exception, that's maybe it. There is the hook on the Gary Arrow. There is the ace. Now 30 minutes. Rascal Jester will be looking to take the win over Burning Core.
That was decisively done. You said they're going to need to do something around the next objective. Actually, no, they had no need to do so. Rascal Jester just brute forced their way through the bot lane and then were able to secure the win. And I think, KacZka, the easiest way for me to say this is welcome to the LJL. What a first game for you to come in on.
Absolutely. I mean, I just got to see a masterclass of Ezreal performance. I got to see some picks that should not have happened for Burning Core as well. So it's not like it was a stomp. I mean, we can point to that one moment and be like, this is where Burning Core really made their mark. And I feel like that made the game entertaining. At the end, Rascal Jester coming in, showing that they are the better team.
Absolutely, but as is tradition, we're going to go on a short break here, but after we come back, we'll be with the analyst desk, back with Initialize, and he's going to make us focus on the important points to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back after that dominating win, frankly, from Rascal Jesters over Burning Core. Let's get straight into it, guys. early on into that game, the Jesters came out with a massive advantage, basically by playing through and around bot lane. KacZka, take me through that gank and dive from early on in that game that really put the Jesters in control.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Hachimecho was just able to exert his control over the bot side, and that is what counts. When you're playing a champion like Udyr, or really Olaf, that was the case with both of the junglers, your power counts from being able to make an impact. And so the dive was set up in the bot lane. There was a first gank, if I remember correctly, and then a follow-through when the summoners were burnt already. Both of them set up almost perfectly, ends up being 4-1 in favor of Rascal Jesters, and put Soul in a really, really advantageous position.
Yeah, that bot lane kind of got crushed. Things were looking pretty good. They go top, they get the kill there. It's all looking great, Maswam. Until we hit this kind of 14 to 15 minute mark. Dragons coming up. And just look for a couple fights, and it kind of goes wrong, and it looks like Burning Core maybe had a way back into it. Well, what was going on there?
This was a spot in the game where the Jesters just kept on getting caught out, and arguably they were a bit too far up. They didn't have the vision, and this was just 1 or 2 picks that really came through, specifically Yuhi getting those kills as well. It was like, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for Burning Core. Maybe they can find something. But it didn't last very long as another fight broke out around the Rift Herald, and before you knew it, it was all back in the Rascal Jester's favor.
Yeah, and I'm aware we're going to talk quite a lot about Rascal Jesters and how good they were, and rightly so. But I do think it's probably right to point out that Proud on that Thresh did a really good job of keeping Burning Core in that game and stopping some picks, which should never have happened. Tell me about how good Proud's lanterns were, KacZka.
I mean, they were absolutely insane. There are 3 kills which you can point out that directly, it was the lantern and nothing else that saved them. 2 of them were on Rayfarki, one in that dragon fight, another one in the middle when he teleported.
Sure.
And then you can see Garyaru in that Herald fight where all went wrong. He was still able to be, gotten out of that. So you can count 3 kills at the very least. All things just to Proud's lantern. I mean, Man was literally on fire in that part of the game.
And I feel like this has been a thing for Burning Core, where we've seen moments of brilliant and mechanical insight from a number of these Burning Core players, but come the mid game, it sometimes feels like they're not quite on the same page in the same way to make proactive plays the way they want to. And on the other hand, I think Jesters had exactly that, because then we kind of had, I think, probably the most critical fight in the game. Yes, the Jesters were a long way ahead gold-wise, Maswan, but that fight around the 4th Drake where Rascal Jesters really, really punish Burning Core. They get onto Yuhi. What happened in that fight?
Oh, so
It's the big one in the mid lane. It's the big one in the mid. It's the big one in the mid lane where the Jesters managed to get Hachimecho goes right the way around the back, gets onto Yuhi. Yeah. It's all going a bit crazy, and like it gets close, but it feels like the Jesters kind of ran over that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was all a bait and switch. Obviously, the Red Jesters didn't mind for the side of Burning Core to actually get that kill, and if anything, they were actually kind of happy that they did that, because when they were coming back, as KacZka was saying on broadcast, he was like, but which way are you going to run, Burning Core? And Rascal Jester was lined up in every way. Kinati was coming out from the behind, and they were just perfectly waiting for them. They're like, if you go this way, Hachimechi goes this way. If you go this way, Kinati can go this way. If you go this way, Soul is just waiting to ult across all 5 of you with an essence flow. It was just beautifully done by the Jesters, and you could tell that they were prepared for this kind of thing, and that they had waited and planned for this moment, and then they got the Baron, and then it was kind of over.
Yeah, and I think at this point I do want to ask you to push a little further, specifically on Soul's Ezreal, because I've got a little note here from the Piltover police saying they're looking for a blonde youth with some magical artifact who's constantly threatening to put people into the museum, has instead been sending them straight to the funeral parlor, because that Ezreal was a menace to society in that game. What was going on?
I mean, it's kind of even hard to. I mean, it's easy to say what was going on. I'm just trying to think why it even happened, because Soul just seemingly out of nowhere started just one-shotting people. I mean, you could track it back, of course, the early game start, and then him being able to position almost perfectly in the teamfights all contributed to it. But once he hit that Duskblade, there was no going back. He was unleashed.
And that feels the way it is at the minute with this new Ezreal build. Essence Reaver and Duskblade, plus a couple items. So much ability haste, so much lethality, and a lot of dead members. And Salt putting on an absolute masterclass on Ezreal in the late game. Hachimecha running that early game, and the Jesters came out with a very convincing win, even if we saw one or two bright moments from the likes of Proud. That said, we are going to go on a quick break here, guys. And when we come back, we've got our final game of the day, which should be a really exciting one, KacZka. You've got Detonation Focus Me versus a rampaging Rascal Jesters. Don't go anywhere, guys. You want to be around for this.